Okay folks, this is a bright sunny day. So it said it was going to get to 21 degrees. It feels more like 23 or more, maybe even 25. I thought I had to wear a jacket because of that, because it was a bit cool earlier in the morning. So yeah. Anyway, I've got an interesting one I'm going to do here. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will. How big we're going to make this one. I'm going to have a look at it anyway, I do think. This photocopier sounds rough. Okay, let's see what this item is. It is on the shelf. It's on the on the windowsill. It's a book. I didn't want to put it on the bed because it's a bit wet. Only damp though. I just worry about mould getting on my bed, but I haven't got any other way of showing it. But I found it just after it had been raining, and that's all saturated, or should I say damp. And this is what we're interested in. We're interested in this side, and I think we're going to cut some of the bottom off and then have that. So we're just going to take a section out of it. So I'm just going to quickly keep it in play, and we're just going to put this page on the glass. This is falling apart, but it was on top of a postie's locker, because we have lockers where posties, I think they drop their letters and shit. I don't know what they use them for exactly, but it was on top of one of those, and it was all waterlogged. So it was waterlogged, folks, and it still is. Now I'm going to see how big we're going to make it. Maybe an A5 in size. Maybe we're going to make the vertical. Actually, I'm just thinking maybe we'll go there, and the horizontal will be maybe 100%. Let's see if we can make this into something nice. Oh, fuck, it's gone too far. Oh, I know why. It's 100% is too small. So we're going to maybe just go with this. I don't know how that's going to work. See how we go. I think my intuition was telling me to just hit that button instead of trying to do things in a more complicated manner. We're a bit confused. Let's see how we go with this. Oh, this photocopier sounds terrible. Let's see, this has taken a while, sorry folks. Yeah, that looks really quite nice actually. I wonder if we're going to leave it like that, if we're going to make it like that, because it looks really quite nice, and I think I've got pretty much what we're after. Trying to decide how to do it. Going to do it differently, folks, or are we? Trying to work out intuitively how to pull this one off. I do think maybe I might move it down a bit, maybe down a little bit, folks. So I'm just going to slide that down just a fraction, not a fraction exactly, but a fair amount. It's not an easy one to do. course, that was the first place I learned I saw a photocopier was in a library. That was it. First time I ever saw a photocopier. And the photocopier was what was known as a Ubix V2. And I think we've done this wrong. We didn't want it to go further down. I think we wanted to go maybe up, or is it, yeah, up, to get more of this. So I fucked it up. I was meant to pull it down, not up. So I meant to pull it up. That's the one. We pulled it down and it's shit. So we're just going to push it up, and I've just lined it up pretty much as best as I can with the edge. But yeah, the photocopier was known as a Ubix V2, and it was a very simple, clunky old thing. And it was released, I think, in 1980. It was a really old equipment, but it was the first photocopier that I ever saw. Now that looks interesting. I do wonder if maybe which one looks better, this one or this one. That's a tough one, folks. I do think maybe that looks better, but then this has got more of that. I like this part better, so I'm thinking I'm going to maybe move it up just to get it down a bit there and get this piece of stuff there. Or maybe we're going to run with this. I think that's going to be the centre of the job. But basically it was a simple old machine, black and white of course, and basically I cherished it when I was using it back in 1986, 1987 and 1988, and then eventually it got replaced with a new piece of equipment, or they got rid of them. One of them was unfortunately damaged by water through a roof collapse, and yeah, the photocopier had to be replaced, and then they replaced the other one later on. Those were the real simple days. I think the old Ubix V2 was forgotten about. There's very few people who would remember it, being as old as it is, and nothing too special in regards to the features and all that shit. And yeah, it was a real clunker of a thing. So this looks really quite nice. I'm just going to line these up. It's a shame it got waterlogged. It's a shame it wasn't picked up before it got wet. But, you know, it still looks good here. We've made something of it. Anyway, that's come up looking a real treat. I think now we can call this demo quits.